Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to speak about the subject of, is free will real or is it just an illusion? Well, we do live in a society that has a bunch of rules and laws and a lot of different things, so we could really start to question ourselves and think, well, is it all real or is it fake? Or is it just masterminded by whatever is told to us by commercials and television and a lot of different things? And I do feel that there's a lot to say about that. We definitely have a lot of, we have a lot of freedom compared to other times of the history of the earth, we'll say, where there was a lot of deaths and a lot of wars and all that stuff, and wars and death and all that stuff is happening, but at least we live, well, being in America and stuff like that, and in most Western places, we live in a place that's somewhat safe, where we are allowed to somewhat choose the career that we'd like to go into, and where we have a lot of free will in a way. But the thing is, obviously, within that free will, you need to abide to certain rules. If you don't have money, for example, well, you can't pay the bills. And if you can't pay the bills, you don't have a rooftop over your head. And if you can't pay the bills, have a rooftop over your head, well, obviously you're probably not going to succeed in society. And at the same time, obviously you got to have money to be able to feed yourself, to entertain yourself, to do a lot of different things, if that makes sense. And because of that, what do you consider free will? I still consider it in some way a free will, because well, you're able to go to the forest and start hunting and stuff like that if you want to, but then you're constrained in some way to whatever your body still needs. It still needs warmth, it still needs shelter, it still needs to be able to feed itself. And if you're not willing to do anything or really follow any rules, well, good luck, you're not going to really succeed. And then also the thing is, again, it comes back to rules. We have laws and stuff like that, so if you're not going to abide the laws, if you're just, let's say, driving a car and you decide that, hey, I don't care, I'm just going to drive it in the opposite direction, or I don't care about green lights, it doesn't matter, it's all the same to me. Well, guess what? Well, pretty fast the police is going to catch on, either give you a ticket or take you into jail, or you're going to get a DUI or something. You can't just do things that you want to do, but you do have the free will to do it if you want to, but there's going to be consequences. There's those laws. So yes, I guess we do have, for the most part, a pretty good amount of free will. But at the same time, I think a lot of stuff is dictated to us by society, by commercials, for example. Why do we want to have a cool beer on a warm day? Why do we want to wear these type of clothes? Why do we want to have a certain type of physique with abs? Or women have to have big breasts or nice thighs or whatever it is, and a slim figure, you know? If television was saying the reverse, that obesity was awesome and it was beautiful, and that's what will get us to a higher state of being as a human being, well, guess what? Well, then we will actually be kind of brainwashed into that, and we'll start basically being obese. So that's the thing, is that it kind of comes almost to like George Orwell's 1984 with Big Brother and all that stuff. People are watching us everywhere. There's hundreds and hundreds of cameras all over the place. We're being spied on all the time in some way. And be it the cash, those little cookies that you get while surfing the internet. Not physical cookies, but the things that stay on your computer as cash. they know what you're looking at. They know what you're researching. There's a lot of things. It's really weird because sometimes you'll be talking to someone about a specific thing, and then all of a sudden you're going through Facebook, and then you see that thing in one of the ads, and then you're thinking, well, that's a very big coincidence. So yeah, free will is not exactly the free will that we would want to have, because we're always kind of taken by the hand in some way into this, taken by the hand into that. If you go to college, you will get a better career. But what if you go to college, you get in debt, and then you can't get into the career that you've always wanted to have because there's just too much competition? You see, that's the thing, is it's always offer and demand. If you are in a position where you want to have that specific job, well, if there's no demand for it, well, you can't have it. So that comes out of free will in some way. So the thing is that free will is going to be obviously always kind of, the outside elements will basically gear us to where whatever the free will wants to go, if that makes sense. We're affected by those elements. So we may have free will, but if you don't have, for example, a healthy body, let's say, if you have a handicap or something else, let's say you have a messed up leg or whatever, then how could you be a marathon runner? Or if you're not an amazing writer, you can become as good as you can, but what if your brain just doesn't function that way, and you're trying, and it just doesn't work? Unfortunately, there's a lot of biological elements to it, and genetics, and whatever environment we're in. So that's why I'm saying that the environment, basically, whatever's surrounding us, is actually going to affect our free will. It's things that have been predisposed from before we were even born, and as human beings, that's the best we can have. But luckily, we do at least live in a society where we are given choices. We'll never have 100% free will, but at least we'll have a lot of choices that can be made. And then it's up to us to basically make the choices that will make our life and the life of the people around us the best. If everyone around each other was killing themselves, well, I don't think we'd be a very happy society. We wouldn't last very long. But then again, nature would take over, and we'd be back to square zero. And after all, 99.9% of species in the history of species and the universe and stuff like that have been extinct. So how are we better than that? Eventually we will have to become extinct, and even if it's in 3 million years or longer, well, the universe is much older than that. We're just a speck. A small amount of time will be taken by humankind, and a lot of it will be forgotten or remembered. Who knows? Because we do have a lot of crazy technologies nowadays. But I am kind of happy to be in a country, in a place where I do have choices and where I have somewhat of a free will, which will be inevitably kind of stirred into a direction or another because of biology, because of the elements around me, because of the people around me, because of the finances and all that stuff. Okay, well, that's it. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.